Welcome back to the Bobcat Hockey Coaches Show on Super Talk 1270. Paul Teeple here with you, rejoined momentarily by Bobcats head coach and general manager Lane Sedevy as we take you up until the hour of 6 p.m. Huge weekend coming up for the Bobcats. Back home for a pair of games starting Friday against the Minnesota Wilderness before turning around and hosting the Brookings Blizzard on Saturday. Buying print tickets for both games right now at bismarck.youtube.com. We now bring in second-year Bobcats alternate captain Nick Alexander to join us as we turn things over to the players. Nick, how's it going, buddy?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Not too bad at all. Getting ready to get back to the friendly confines. How huge is it to be able to get back home for these games this weekend?
It's big. I think all year we've been playing well at the VFW. I mean, been a lot better at home than on the road, so it's nice to have the fans behind us for this weekend with two of the biggest games of the year, so looking forward to it.
All right, Nick, so with this weekend, these two games, knowing what the standings look like, knowing where everybody is right now with less than 20 games to play, how is the team looking at these games? How big are they?
They're huge. I mean, technically, they're not must-win, but, just about as close as you can get to a must-win. Got about 5 points right now out of a playoff spot, if I'm correct. And, you got to start winning a lot of games on the road. Need to start a winning streak and pick up a lot of games. Don't have a lot of room to start dropping points. So got to make sure we're getting points. And, if we all do our jobs and stick to the systems, I think all will fall into place and we'll be in the playoffs again.
This past weekend, a frustrating weekend, considering the results and how everything went down. What was the overall take of all the players on how things shook out in Brookings this past weekend?
Yeah, it's frustrating for sure. I mean, I don't think our effort was bad. I think we worked hard. I think it just kind of comes down to we got to limit the mental mistakes and bear down on our chances. I thought, like I said, I thought the effort was fine. I just thought, we can't be giving up 7 goals, and that's kind of on everyone. So I think if we can kind of really focus back on the defensive side of the puck and we can bury some more chances, we'll be fine.
With those frustrations, is that something that you guys kind of look at as a motivating factor, kind of an us against the world thing, or is it more of a teaching thing saying, here's what we did wrong, let's not do that again?
Yeah, I mean, you can definitely look at it both ways. I think, after, there's things like film and, coaching staff that, they point things out to us. So I think you look at it both ways. It's motivating, and you kind of look at what you did wrong, figure it out, try to tune that up as much as you can. But, obviously, when the stands are this close, I think playoffs are a big enough motivation to kind of, realize it's time to buckle down and start winning some games.
First game this weekend, Wilderness in town. Their last game here at the VFW Sports Center. What do you guys know about them? What do you remember? And what's kind of the general mentality going into this game on Friday?
I think that they're soft. So I think both teams we play this weekend are soft. So as long as we come out and I know we can play harder than them, we just got to make sure we focus on that and, be so-called hard to play against. Don't take any crap. Stay disciplined, obviously, because don't want to be in the penalty box. But if we can play tough, finish our checks, I think we'll have a lot of success against both teams this weekend.
Yeah, and that's a big thing, being able to kind of grind the other team, especially at home, knowing that both of these teams are on the road this weekend as they are. I imagine that wearing them down and being hard to play against so big just from the fact that that you guys have a conditioning advantage over pretty much everybody in the division. Being able to wear them out really plays into your hands.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, finishing checks and, that's the biggest thing for sure, to wear teams out. But, we work hard, practices and everything, workouts. We do a good job with our conditioning. Like you said, I'm confident we're the most conditioned team in the division. We just got to make sure we can stay disciplined and grind them out, within the rules, because we've had a lot of penalties lately. So hopefully we can limit that the rest of the way and, take care of business on the power play and the PK.
You've got a hand in both the power play and the penalty kill right now. The power play put together pretty decent numbers this week. And what does the PK need to do to get to where it was 3 weeks ago when it was such a big part of winning 5 out of 6 games?
Still, it goes back to knowing your job. You got to make sure you're doing your job, and everyone else will hopefully follow, and then also be good blocking shots. That's big on PK. I think we need to get back to blocking more shots. We've been good at that all year, but, the more you do that, the better. You don't want to, let shots go through on the PK. So, and, that's a big way to get respect from the guys, so that goes a long way.
Well, Nick, we thank you very much for sharing a little time. Good luck this week against the Wilderness and against the Blizzard.
Yep, thanks for having me, Paul.
All right, that's Bobcats alternate captain Nick Alexander. Our thanks to him, and we remind you the Bobcats are at home this weekend for 2 huge home games. Friday, taking on the second-place Minnesota Wilderness before hosting third-place Brookings on Saturday. You can buy and print tickets for both nights right now online at bismarck.bobcats.com or charge by phone 9 a.m. until 5 p.m. at 222-3300 for Bobcats and Wilderness and Bobcats and Blizzard. We keep things on the players' side here as we roll along and say hello to first-year Bobcat winger Luke Millen. Luke, how's it going, bud?
It's going pretty good, Teeple. How about you?
Not too bad at all. So this past weekend, pretty much an emotional roller coaster with those 2 games in Brookings. What was the overall feeling coming out of it down in the locker room with you guys?
The first game was obviously a pretty big upset. Going into the third period up 6-3 and then ended up losing. And honestly, for coach and for the players, we just wanted to come back and the next day and on Saturday and do what needs to be done and get 2 points. But we didn't end up getting what we wanted, and so now we're just looking forward to this weekend. And we're 5 points out of the playoff spot, so we really need to get these 4 points and hopefully we can get playoff spot.
Now, for you this weekend, being able to get that goal on Friday, how big was that just for your confidence? You've been so close basically since Christmas to getting that goal. Was that a huge lift for you to finally get that one in?
Yeah, it's finally nice to get that one out of the way. First goal of the season, but I'm just it's not my worry right now. It's just trying to get to playoffs.
So
I'm glad I could finally get that done.
This weekend, first game of the weekend is the Wilderness. It's the 6th time out of 8 you'll see these guys. Is there any extra feeling for you? This is a team that you affiliated with last year. I got one of your first tastes of junior hockey with the Wilderness a season ago. Is there any extra emotion with you for that, knowing that you played for these guys last year?
I know a few of the players, and there's some pretty nice guys on there, but I would say the biggest feeling is just wanting to just beat them, really bad, because, my dad was the head coach last year and he was fired, and I don't know, it just even makes me want to beat them even more,
Yeah, very understandable. And then I imagine that in terms of emotion, that things are going to be running pretty high emotionally on Saturday with Brookings coming to town, considering the way everything went last weekend.
Yeah, every game is very, very chippy with them. They're a pretty good, skilled team, so it's always a pretty close game. I mean, with skill-wise, if the refs don't mess it up like they usually do, but it should be a good game, and hopefully we can come out with 4 points.
Lately, when you've had the chance to play together anyways, when all the 12-4s have been available, your line out there with Kevin Ness and Mike Mahan has really been a really important part of this team's success and a huge spark. What's been going right when you guys have been able to be out there together?
I think the best thing that we do is we just move our feet, and by moving our feet, we create opportunities. We draw penalties, and we get the pucks in net, and we don't always, come out with points that game or anything, but we get the boys going. We, get momentum going, and we keep the puck in their zone. And that's pretty much all we can do is do little things. Take the body, get the puck deep, and make sure we do our role as a fourth line.
Oh, and that seems to be such a big thing this weekend. Talking to Nick Alexander a moment ago, he said that the Wilderness and the Blizzard, not the most physical teams in the division, so your line has that role of being physical. How huge is that against these teams that maybe aren't as physical as others like Minot?
No, for sure. When we take body against teams like these two, it really helps, helps to them turn over pucks, and they gets in their heads, and it's just fun, like when they try and shy away, because none of them like to get hit. They're all small and pretty weak guys, and it's just fun, to show them that they're in the NAHL, and that's what it's about.
What's the mentality? What's important for you guys to kind of have? What kind of mentality is important to have, I should say, for this weekend, for these two huge games?
It's for sure just resilience. We need to come out with 4 points. Huge weekend for us, especially, since both these teams are beating us. And the biggest thing would be to, make sure we keep our head high. We're in a 4-game losing streak right now, and all we need to do is make sure we come with 4 points. That's all it is. It's simple. Work hard, 2 games in our building, and obviously both teams have had a struggle playing against this year, so I know if we just work hard and move the puck where we can easily beat these guys.
Nothing more needs to be said. Luke, thanks a lot. Good luck this weekend against the Wilderness and the Blizzard.
Yeah. Thanks, Teeple.
All right, that's Bobcats winger Luke Millen. Our thanks to him. Our thanks to Nick Alexander. We'll jump out for a quick commercial break. When we return, the Bobcat Hockey Coach Show rolls along right here on the radio home of Bobcat Hockey, Super Talk 1270.